Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Self Literacy Podcast. I don't know what episode it is. You say you haven't watched
I really don't know what
any
episode
of the
it is.
episodes?
Unfortunately, I have not yet. But I will.
We had a similar crisis last week
Crisis.
where I didn't know. Maybe crisis is a bit extreme. Yeah, but we had something similar. I didn't know if it was 11 or 12 or 10, but I think this is 12.
We're in the teens. That's all that matters.
This is 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go with 12.
Yeah. Lovely to have you here.
I'm so excited to be here.
Porsche.
I'm
You
so
know what?
excited.
Can I tell you something?
Yep.
You are the first female.
I almost said, say my name. But okay, I'm so excited. Really?
I promise you,
I'm so honored.
you're
Okay.
the first female on
That just changed
podcast.
everything. Thank you. It's an honor. Thanks for the invite. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
This is my first time, hopefully not the last.
First time where?
Here for the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully not the last.
I don't think so.
Okay. But thank you
I
so
don't
much.
think so. Yeah. I think before we get into it,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to tell people who you are. I want you to tell people who you are.
Wow. I have to say it's a very long list, so I'm going to try and summarize it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, if you were to compare yourself with an animal, which animal would you be?
Can I compare myself with an animal I'm trying to be?
What is that?
A lion.
That's such a typical answer, though.
That's probably a typical Christian answer. But like a lion because
I had Omolemo here last
Yeah.
week, 17-year-old.
yes.
He said the same thing.
But like it's the king of the jungle.
wants
The
to be a-
elephant, which is bigger than the lion, is scared of the lion. It's just about stepping into the room. Like I just want to be able to step in the room and then
It's scared of the lion when the lion is in a group. But one-on-one, no.
really? Is it a proven fact?
Yes.
Listen, I want to be a lion. I just want to have nice golden hair and I just want to step in the room and I don't have to say anything. That's basically, especially even in the spiritual realm, I just want to step in the room and I don't have to say anything.
I think I'm a shark.
Oh, wow. Never actually thought about this question. Thanks for the question. But I think, yeah, lion was the first thing.
You
that
feel
came
its
to mind.
presence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Influence, presence, impact.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
About you.
Okay, so I'm Miss Porsche. I go by the name Miss Porsche. And I also have a YouTube channel called Levatoire, which basically is a rise and shine. So it's a Zai 60. And I am a speaker, I am an MC, I am a singer, a worshiper, I am a daughter of the Most High. That's all I know. I always say, guys, I'm not made for the streets. I am a Jesus girl, Jesus freak, born again, blood washed. I have an accounting background, and it's very funny because when people look at me, they're like, you don't look like an accountant. And I'm also like, I know I'm not one, but anyway. So I have an accounting background. What else do you want to know about me? I'm from Bloemfontein.
I want to know why you don't
originally.
want to change the name Levatoire.
Oh!
Because you and I had this conversation
No,
before.
I'm not changing it.
We had this conversation, Porsche, and I told you, I gave you background.
Listen.
It's like, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not. You know, there's some things that you just know. You appreciate people giving you advice and stuff, but you're like, I know that I know.
Got you.
Yeah, so
And
I'm
I know
definitely,
sad.
I'm definitely not changing it until like the Lord tells me to change it. probably.
No sad.
Yeah.
She's from Bloom. I'm also from Bloom. Well, I'm not from Bloom, but yeah, I grew up in
You
Bloom.
grew up in Bloom, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, yeah, that's me. And I think if I had to like describe myself, I really love people. I really have a passion for people. And like my biggest like thing that drives me is I just want to impact people,
Yeah.
whatever that means, whichever forms it comes in. I love teaching as well. I used to lecture once in my life, and I just think everywhere I go, I just want to be impactful, and influence. If I could choose two words about myself, that's what I want. I just want to be impactful and to have influence.
Are you teaching today?
Ha! Yeah, as I'm led, I shall teach. There's always teaching moments. There's always, sometimes I'll be shooting like a quick video and then I'm like, guys, this is the teaching moment. So,
Yeah.
because that's also who I am. I'm who I am today because of the teaching moments. Whether it's friends, whether it's a parent, whether it's a lecturer saying something to you, but there's always like a teaching moment.
Yeah.
But you must see it, you must recognize it so that you can learn.
Yeah.
That's what we're always growing and we're always learning. So yeah.
100%. Also tell the people that you sing.
Oh, yeah, I did say that.
Did you? I didn't
I
hear you say
did.
that.
Yeah, I'm a singer. I call myself a professional wedding singer because I've literally been singing at people's weddings since I was like, I don't know, like a teenager, like friends and family. So it's like I can sing anyway. I sing at year-end functions, corporate functions, but birthday parties. But I think the one that I really love, I love weddings.
Can we quickly sing something, you and I?
What are we? Yeah, let's sing. What do you want to sing?
Whatever.
That's your favorite gospel song? Currently. Okay, what's on repeat?
Wind of Love.
I don't know it, sorry.
Yeah, it's a new song. What's on repeat for you?
What's on repeat? I've got a couple. Do you know Live Again from One House?
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know it?
Yeah.
You actually said, yeah. There's a
It's
part where you
time
say,
to live again.
yes. But it's not a song that we can sing together. What do you normally sing? Like, what's a
Sing
easy
a
song?
wedding song.
A wedding song. Okay, I just thought, if I gave you forever, would you take care of me? Yeah. Would you take me for granted or run away? You'll tell me when to stop.
I don't know that song.
It's a wedding song because I sang it at my friend's wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's from Alicia Keys.
When I Said I Do.
Oh, do I know the words though? When I said I do, it meant that I will. Till the end of all time. Faithful and true, devoted to you. Cause when I said that's when
That's what I had in mind.
I had in mind. When I said I do. Woo! You should have prepared me for this one as well. Anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss P.
Miss P.
Dude, I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you.
I know I wanted to do this for a very long time.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're the first female
Man.
and it's you, I'm so happy.
You're going to have to forgive me though.
Why?
I'm just like saying beforehand, like I hear songs all the time. So like if you say a line, I'm probably going to sing something. Just
Oh, you're that person.
Literally. Like if you say it's you, I'm
Very
going to find a
goofy.
song. Not goofy, but it's like it's in my head. Then it needs to come out.
No,
So
but
I'm
let's
just
call
saying
it what it is, though. You're goofy.
if it does come out, I'm just preparing you.
She's
you know,
goofy.
We like to be prepared.
It is what it is. It's goofy. Listen to this. I want to drop a spanner into the works.
Okay.
And I want you and I to dissect it.
Let's dissect.
There are two important questions everyone must ask themselves. Mm-hmm. The first one, where am I going? And who will go with me?
Oh, wow.
That relationships are the currency of life,
Mm-hmm.
and we need to learn to do them the way God defines it.
Yeah, amen.
What do you think of that?
That's brilliant. I was thinking of other questions, but that is very brilliant because like what I said, impact and influence. That's very important. Like they always say you are the sum total of your 5 friends. I don't know who said that. It's like an actual quote that everybody uses, but it's the truth. Like literally chill with someone for like 4 months and listen to the way you speak, the way you sound. You start speaking like them. If they cuss, you start cursing. If something is a joke, you guys have inside jokes. It's just power and influence. Relationships are everything. So
Yeah.
you are going with whoever you're going with. Wherever they're going, if they're turning right, you're actually turning right. Even
Yeah.
whether you're seeing it, whether you feel like you're experiencing it, but that's how powerful relationships are.
Okay.
know.
So learning to do them the way God defines relationships. How does God define relationships?
I think the biggest thing is love. I think that's love. Love. That's the best way because like I feel like everything is defined in love. And love helps us how to act. Love helps us how to treat people. Because remember, relationships, they're quite reciprocal. So today you're high, somebody else is low today, and then it's the other way tomorrow. But love guides you in how to treat someone. Love guides you even how to correct someone. So I feel like if you make love the center of your relationships, whether it's between male and female, between best friends, if you make love the center of your relationship, God is love. So that should guide you in any way. If you need to rebuke the person, if you need to correct them, if you need to help them in love, you're doing it in the right way with love.
Yeah.
So it's a guiding point.
I like the fact that you mentioned correction.
Yeah.
And I said this in one of the episodes that God's love has different dimensions to it. And please don't hear what I'm not saying, right? God's love does not change. It remains the same. It's the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. But it has different dimensions. What do I mean by that? You think about it. God is faithful to you and I, though we don't deserve his faithfulness.
Yeah.
He shows us mercy. He shows us grace. In the same breath, God corrects us. There's a chapter in the book of Hebrews where it talks about discipline, and the word discipline is actually mentioned, I think, 11 times in that chapter.
Sure. Wow.
So God corrects us, he disciplines us, etc. And that is also him loving us.
Yeah.
Because we often think God shows us love by only showing his mercy, his goodness, his grace, etc. But we never want to tap into the other side.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that you actually mentioned that you can actually correct a person
Correct. Yeah.
in love.
That's very important because for me, like we try to be liked by our friends and we try to be nice, but a true friend is a friend that can like pull you to the side and say, listen, but you actually messed up or you didn't do this correctly. That's actually real love because if somebody sees you, like if you can see someone is going down the drain, you seen them or they're going down the wrong path, are you just going to leave them? Is that really love? Like
Yeah.
if you know that that stove is hot and let's say it's one of those fancy stoves and it does not look red or orange, but you know that it's hot and you see me running to the stove, taking my finger there, are you going to let me just burn? And then you're saying that's love.
But should you not let people get burned sometimes?
I mean, no, I think you should let them get burned when you told them like 5 times that you shouldn't go there, like going back to your ex. I told you, girl, not to go to that guy, and you still go. Then it's like, girl, I tried to help you. I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, but I think what I'm trying to say is the friends that I think are real friends are the friends that let's talk about the uncomfortable things. It's not just about, like, we're not only supposed to have good times and laugh, but like, let's say if I really do mess up, you should be able to tell me.
Yeah.
And not keep quiet because you're scared you're going to lose the friendship or
Yeah.
because I'm not going to like you or now things are uncomfortable. We're adults. Let's help each other. You're supposed to be better. I'm supposed to be better. And if like, then it's like you're scared of the one person, that somebody's a doormat. Then it's like, is it really a relationship where we're growing? Because I can't even correct you as a friend, as
Yeah.
a sister in Christ. Like, what are we doing there?
Have you ever felt some type of way when somebody corrected you?
Obviously, you will feel some type of way because sometimes it's like, I didn't see that coming. Or even worse, it was completely not your intention. And then the person received it as you're being offensive or you're being too hard. But you always also have to think, but when you also know someone, you know their heart, you're like, okay, let me just listen to what this person is saying and how this situation made them feel.
Yeah.
And then you would humble yourself, think about it and say, okay, you know what, I'm sorry. This is not what I meant. And you apologize and, go and do some introspection. Because sometimes even with my personality, I'm very like in your face, loud and all that stuff. And sometimes it can be read incorrectly. So I also have to consider the fact that, people are not like Portia and I can speak so fast and be loud and everything and then it hurts you. But I'm like, I'm not doing it to hurt you. I just, this is not what I meant, friend. So yes, obviously you'll feel some type of because it wasn't your intention.
Yeah.
Obviously, if it's like completely wrong and it's like this is the devil, like girl, I don't know. It depends. I think it's like it's circumstantial and it's situational and it depends on the person as well. Because if someone is completely saying something that's not real about you, then it gets a little bit different.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Do you have friends, bruh?
Do I have friends?
Yeah.
That's so funny. What do I look like? Do I look like I don't have friends? I do have friends. I do have friends, but funny enough, like I was that girl that was like, I don't know if I can say friends with everybody. Like even at school, man, like, there was like cliques. I was in a girls' school. So there was like cliques and there was like circles. And literally even the circles would sit at certain spots in the school. But I was always like, I can go to that circle today, go to that circle tomorrow. Okay, there were some circles I wasn't part of, obviously. But like...
So you were very agile.
Yes, and
Yeah.
like I said, I love people. So I always just find myself mixing with everybody. I mix with the not so popular kids, the crazy kids, the weirdos, whatever. Like... But I just love people and I just mix so well. So I was just everywhere, jumping everywhere. And I've always been around people. Like the other day I was like, thinking about like, even if I had to like invite people to an event, it's like, I know a lot of people. And I think, obviously some people think we're friends. I'm like, no, but aren't we like just colleagues or acquaintances? But I'm always around people.
I find that fascinating. What you just said, that you could actually be so agile and be around different groups of people. Did God not deliberately create you like that?
Oh, listen.
To speak to your ministry.
100%. No, that for me, what I'm saying is like, I'm seeing this as a gift because I used to think, oh, people are like me.
100%.
Yeah, no, I've noticed it. That's what I'm saying. From a young age, I was like that. From a young age. And I'm also like, I'm a leader. Like I'm literally a born leader. And like, it's that thing, the influence, And I think for a lot of times, I never used to understand it. And I used to like, maybe like shy away from like being that person. And sometimes you just want to be like at the back. Like you don't want to be in the front. Like even at church, a testimony, like when I went to audition, I was a choir girl my whole life. And I was like, I love music. I love harmonizing. I just want to be in the choir. Like I don't even want to. I auditioned the next week. I got an item.
I feel like there's a story behind that.
There's
a story there. Let's touch on that.
I don't want us to deviate. I don't want us to deviate.
We're going to come back.
Yeah.
I want us to talk about that. You going to audition and what prompted you?
So like, okay, background. So I've literally been singing my whole life. I was that girl. Like I know my 2000 don't even know what a tape is. Like literally. So my dad used to have these like, VC. What did you call them?
VHC.
Is it VHC?
Yeah, I think so.
Matter like a tape, guys, whatever.
Cassette.
The cassette and then those ones that the
Definitely.
videotape. Like you would literally... those ones, I thought tickets are music only, but the ones that we used to watch, like you'd put them in.
Oh.
So I used to like love Tina Turner. I used to literally watch Tina Turner. I've been
You're the
singing,
best.
literally, I've been singing my whole life. So I made it into the children's choir, and it's like a very elite choir. Like you have to go through auditions. Not everybody makes it. And I've been in the children's choir from the age of 9 to 17. We literally travel the world, sing for elite people, you know. So I was a choir girl my whole life, and like in the choir, you were in a choir, so you don't really get solos, right? So I've always known I could sing. Like we started a singing group, a music group, like when I was in primary. We even wrote songs about things we knew nothing about. But I'm just trying to give you the background. I've been singing my whole life, even in choir. I was in choirs. I was in, you know, the smaller choirs, the elite choirs, the procamines, and the and so that's what I knew. I loved harmonizing, and I love choir. And so I never saw myself as a soloist. I knew I could sing. I'd sing in the bathroom, I'd sing at home. And basically, okay, I got saved, born again at 17, right? So that's the end of grade 11. Matric happens, and then I go to varsity. And yeah, the thing is, I never wanted the spotlight. That's the thing, really. Like, and this is not like I'm trying to be humble. I'm serious. Like, because the church where we got saved, it's a big church, and you're like, I don't want to be famous. I don't want people to know me. I just want to go to the checkers and nobody, you know. And that's the thing. I didn't want the limelight. I just wanted to live my life and serve the Lord.
Gotcha.
And so got saved and everything. And I knew, like, okay, girl, obviously the only ministry you're going to go into here is either acting, dancing, because that's what I did my whole life as well. I was in a dance crew. And I was like, it's going to be on stage.
Yeah.
I know I'm a stage. I was born for the stage. So and that's what I did my whole childhood. And eventually, it was always like, Portia, why don't you go audition? And then one of my friends, actually, the one day, he was like, we're going today on a Thursday. I'm like, okay, let's go. Because it was always like, I'm scared. I don't want to do it. Or I guess maybe I also was like, I'm a church girl, but I don't want to be on stage. Like, I know I'm Christian and I just want to be at the back, guys. Like, I don't want everybody to know now I belong to this
100%.
church. And, you know, we're from a small town. So, you know, I was like, I guess I didn't want people to know, oh, you Portia that goes to this church or whatever. I don't know what it was. But eventually, people knew I could sing. So even in varsity, we had these things called stage door. We had
Sarah.
sad, man. Like I sang sad and people were like, this girl can sing. Like in first year already, I was in sad, and second year. So eventually, like, but you can sing. Why are you not singing at church? So I was like, okay, I'll go, but I don't want the mic. And I don't know if I'm like good enough to be, I'm not all holy or whatever. And then, okay, long story, I auditioned and I can't even remember. I think I auditioned on the Thursday and then I think the next week they started this thing where they were like training vocalists, like Ostiri was doing this thing where she's training vocalists on a Monday or something randomly. So I had the song. In fact, it was Emily Sunday, River. Like I'm actually called River at Bloemfontein. Well, some people still call me that. So I sang Emily Sunday, which is not, she's circular, but I know she's Christian. And I just auditioned on that day with that song. Follow me, I'll be your river, river. So my interpretation of the song is Jesus saying that to me, you know. But it's a beautiful song, by the way. So that was like Monday or whatever. Next thing, Sunday at like 3:30, OCD sends me a message like, can you do the item? Not prepared. What do you mean I'm doing the item? That's literally how I got on stage, literally. And then now it's like PM. I'm like quickly rushing to church. You need to be at church in 30 minutes. Like, what? Okay, I'll do the song. It's fine. Like, I've been singing my whole life. I'm not scared. And I sing the song, and guess what happens? That's like way back, ne? Then this song, I think it was a CD, bro. That thing, haka. What I'm singing. Like, it literally, the backtrack stops. That's like backtrack days. The backtrack stops, and I'm like, so I'm standing here, and then I literally giggle, because I'm goofy.
You're on stage.
I'm on stage, and I giggle. I'm like, so I'm like, okay, then, but I wasn't like, I wasn't embarrassed or anything. I was just like, hey, man, because I've been singing my whole life. Improvising is part of what we do, even though, you know, I don't like improvising. So, and then they play the backtrack again I start the song again. But I think it stopped at like after verse 1. So it was still at the beginning. Sing the song. And then somewhere later, it stops again. But listen, in my head, I'm singing the song. So I started singing the song. And then I started ministering the song. Like, I didn't stop. And then I think Lufuno at that time, he jumped on because I think he knew the song. So he tried to like play on the keys. I don't know. I just started singing and I didn't know if like, did the backtrack come back on again? I didn't know what was happening.
Is this during the service?
This is item, bro. I'm doing an item. I sing the song. I kill the song. Everybody's like, what? At the end, my one friend comes to me. She's like, how did you do that? If it was me, I would have died. But for me, it was like, the way the people reacted, I was like, did I just do something that's abnormal? For me, I had an assignment. And that was to sing an item. And I didn't care what the devil was doing or anyone. I'm like, I'm singing the song.
Yeah.
I don't need a backtrack. I'll sing this damn thing.
100%.
I'll sing it a cappella. And I did. And that's how I got onto the stage.
Yeah.
I was trying to be in the choir.
Yeah. So I think the agility that I spoke of, I think it's a gift that God gave you. to actually tap into your ministry.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you can heal so many people because you guys are meant to heal. At the
Exactly.
end of the day, I think when was it last year? You sang "Look to the Lamb"
It was
in December. I think.
no, it was this year Good Friday.
Was it Good
It was
Friday?
it was this year Good
Yeah, no,
Friday.
no, it was not Good Friday.
But I sang the song, and I'm telling you, it's Good Friday.
Good Friday,
Oh,
I
oh,
was not here.
if it was not Good Friday, it was the Sunday of, but it was Easter.
I was not here Easter,
Listen, I sang
and
that
you
song.
sang that song.
Listen, you're talking about another song. Look to Land is a new song. I sang it this year in 2024, not last year. I promise you, I was wearing a purple dress. I even remember.
We had communion that day. I remember.
So it was definitely Passover weekend.
Definitely not Passover. I was not around Passover, but
Okay, but
that's
we sang the
besides the
song.
point.
Okay.
You sang that song, and I started shedding a tear. I was like, "Yo,
Yeah,
that's a beautiful song."
that is a beautiful
So
song.
yeah, God, I think, gave you the agility to be able to minister to the different people, and you should actually just capture it, grab it, and run with it.
100%. And I think the thing about purpose and whatever is you need to recognize it. So like for the longest time, sometimes I would reject that or wonder, like question stuff like, why do I know a lot of people? Why am I? But like I like what you said, because my school was also like an interracial school. So I would be that girl that literally has the Nigerian friend, the Afrikaans friend, and they like my friends. Like I literally can go into their house, their parents know me, and it's a gift because when you grow up and you realize, oh, people don't even have white friends, or people don't have like an Asian friend or whatever, and it's like it really is a gift because I don't even try. And then it's
Yeah.
like I look around and I'm like, oh, I've got like best friends from like 5 different like races, so it's definitely a gift that
Yeah.
you're able to like reach out to everybody and anybody. And it's really, like I said, I don't even try. It's only like when I started realizing and seeing, okay, this is something that this is who I am. Like, I mean, for instance, like just to give you an example, I was RCL every single year as well at my school. From grade 8 up until matric, and then in matric I was head girl as well. And with being head girl, the people have to vote. So it's more like, not that it's a popularity concept, but I think if I never believed it, that's the first time I should have believed that. Oh, people actually know me, or I actually do mingle because
Yeah.
I'm assuming, and then I'm drama, then I'm chess, then I'm. But so people will eventually vote for you, but obviously they're voting for whatever they like. But
Yeah.
you realize that, yeah, that it's definitely a gift. You're able to draw people in. So to answer your question, I do have friends. I do have friends. I would say, no, I won't say I do have a lot of friends, but I think if we have to really go into the definition of friends, because people throw that word around, hey friend, like, yeah, girl, I've only known you for 2 hours. But like I do have really proper people that I know I can pick up the phone at any time at 3 a.m. They would fast with me and pray with me. I'm really blessed with the most amazing people. I even say I see God's love through the people He's put in my life, especially in the season I'm in right now.
Is it
Yeah.
important that your friends be saved?
It is important. Okay, let's say there's levels, right? There are levels, and I think the people that right now I am working with, like what you said, it's about where you're going and who you're taking with you. Majority of, I'd say like 80% of them are saved, so we are on the same page. But I'm not saying I don't have friends that are not saved. I do have friends. We have differences. I even have a friend that completely will like, or not hate, but he wouldn't have the best things to say about the church I go to or my pastor. But it's like we are really good friends, like brother and sister. But I literally say to him, okay, listen, you're not speaking about my church or my pastor. Like I love you, but you're not gonna speak about it. You're not gonna be criticized. But he's my friend. You know what I mean? And it's like what you need to do as well is I believe, like the Bible tells us that we shouldn't be equally yoked when it comes to marriage. But with friends, we're supposed to have friends and lead them the right way. I don't think any of us that are born again and saved can say we don't have friends that
100%.
are not born again, because
Yeah.
then they need us,
Because I think someone might be watching this and wondering, how do I actually navigate that dynamic? I have a friend, I'm trying to win him to
Yeah.
Christ for the longest time, that is. And it's been a journey.
Yeah.
And oftentimes we have conversations, and sometimes I just tell him, just shut up. Because this conversation is just, it's becoming something else. So somebody might be watching this thinking, how does one navigate the dynamic?
I think we go back to love again, because there's this song that actually says, I think it's Kirk Franklin, that says, he says, what if you're the only Jesus that they see? Like I've actually been taught in preparation for marriage, like your marriage is like you are like the Jesus for your husband. Like how Jesus would treat you, you treat your husband like that. So even with your friends, they should see Jesus through you. They, like, maybe your friend should do something so messed up, and then like the love that you have for them, you know, the love that God says, for instance, forgive or correct or whatever.
Yeah.
You are the first example of Jesus that they actually see. So you navigate that by loving.
Not condemnation.
Not condemnation, not Bible
told you
bashing.
so.
Not condemnation, not Bible bashing, because that is never gonna win anybody's heart. And I just think sometimes like it's not, you're not trying to like, how can I put it? Don't act and don't force. It's, you know, people are always watching. That's something I learned at a very young age. Somebody's always watching you. That's why I'm always talking about influence.
Yeah.
And sometimes your friend, like your friend for 10 years or whatever, they've been watching you. They're like, why is this guy going to church every single Sunday? Or, you know, I've never heard him say a swear word.
Yeah.
Those things, you don't know. Like, you know, I've also gotten to a place in my heart where I realized that like you can be praying for someone or trusting that God's gonna help someone to see the light, but it's not always directly through you. Yes, they've been exposed and you've been putting a seed and planting a seed and they're watching you live your life, you know, and they're like, oh, this person's actually not boring. This person is fun. And sometimes it's about the one day that person goes to another church or another stranger speaks to that person and then they give their life to Christ. It doesn't have to come through you. I've had a best friend where I was like trying to get this person to come to my church, but when they moved away to Cape Town, eventually they went into another church and that's how they got. And I was like, it's not about me. It's like I want to get the naughty badge. Like, God, I did it. You know, no. So I just think be Christ like to your friend because you are his friend for a reason. You know,
People are watching,
people are always watching.
whether you know it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like having conversations with young guys. I advocate a lot for men to date
Yeah.
because I'll say it again. I've said this before. I think there's a certain pressure that a woman brings into a man's life, and I think every man needs pressure. So there's the pressure part. There's the stability
Yeah.
that a good woman, emphasis on good woman.
Come on.
Right? The Bible says that he who finds a wife finds a
a
good
good
thing.
thing.
I think that should be revisited, but I'm not God. I'm not going to, because, you know, you might find a wife, but the wife might not be good. But that's a story for another day. So I advocate a lot for men to get into a relationship because, like I said, stability, pressure, etc. And I think I had to get to, so I'm celibate. I decided to be pure
Good.
for God,
Well done.
you know, wait for marriage. And
Come on, Jesus.
That is not a popular thing when it comes to men.
Oh, when it comes to men. Okay.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say when it comes to being Christian, but okay.
Or maybe you know something. Actually, let me take that back. When it comes to Christians, yes.
Yeah.
When it comes to Christians, but I'm going to focus solely on men. Because we are sold sex from a very young age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't have conversations with us about sex, about lust, and all of that. I saw a video earlier on, and the woman was saying that we need to get to a point where we learn to starve lust. Well, I don't know how to do that.
There are ways.
Right?
Yeah.
No one has ever spoken to me about that.
Okay.
But because the Bible says, come boldly to the throne of grace, right? I've learned not to do anything in my own might.
Correct.
So even the things that I would battle with, I had to get to the realization that this I can't do alone. I need to bring God into the picture. And that's how I was able to overcome so many things. Even this path that I'm on of purity and. But just taking it back to our conversation, I had to get to a point where if I were to speak to guys about certain, you know, subjects, i.e. being pure, being celibate, I had to be in that as well.
Correct.
I had to be walking that walk as well.
100%. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you said, people are always watching.
Always.
And don't just talk the talk.
Yeah. That's the thing. A lot of people are talking.
Walk the walk.
Walk the walk. I want to see it.
And I'm so thankful to God that he got me to that point. Because even when I like speak to the guys about it, like I feel so good. You know, I'm not, there's no conflict in me that I'm talking to Portia about this. But the very same thing I'm talking to Portia about, I'm doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I like the fact that you say people are always watching.
Always. Your biggest testimony, people are watching. It's not what you say. People shouldn't have to ask you, are you Christian? They should see there's something about you. And the thing is, it's about the crisis moments. It's about the difficult moments. Like the corporate girlies, like if in corporate and you know, the popo's hitting the fan, they want to see Oh, this one that's always saying she's Christian. Are you now freaking out? Are you being mean to people? Are you? People
And
are
they
watching.
they look at you guys, yeah.
Especially if you're very loud about it.
Yeah,
Not that we should be fake, and not that we shouldn't be loud.
100%.
But you should be doing more than you are speaking.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle.
Dude, I want to go back to relationships
Yes.
and them being the currency of life. Is a godly man important to and for you?
Hallelujah. Are you kidding? Hell yeah. Probably shouldn't say how while I'm trying to talk about God, but no, that's important. You know what? And I always say to God, like, I've just been through way too much to play around with that. Because first of all, like, we are walking together. I'm becoming one with you. Whatever you are, I am one with you. Number one. And then you're gonna be the father of my children. The father of my children's. And then it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. Because like you can still be friends with someone who's not godly. But like I can go to my place and shut the door and live my life. But now with that other person, there's no shutting the door, there's no I'm going to the other room. We are one.
So there would never be exception there.
Never. Let me tell you what I'm saying. I've been through way too much to settle and go for a son of Pharaoh. I can't. Like with the call that's upon my life and the things that I've overcome with the deliverance journey I've gone through, that wouldn't even make sense. I always say, like, maybe our parents' generations and before that, maybe they didn't know better and they didn't have a choice. Or like, it's different if you are now already married and then you get born again, so your husband's not born again. Then it's a different story. But with everything that we know, with what I've been through, I've been in church, what is it now, 15 years, 16 years that I've given my life to Christ.
Yeah.
So it would not make sense.
What about dating and leading the person to salvation?
Listen, I've done evangelistic dating. I've done it. I've been like, let's take him to church. I've done that. Look, it's a very difficult one. I've done that before, but then it's the most frustrating thing. And I can speak about, man.
What about it? It's frustration.
I'll need to go to the
It's
person.
frustrating.
Because it's like, let me give you an example. Like, I'm having an amazing time at church, or I'm worshiping and I'm here. Or like, okay, let's say the pastor preaches this amazing message and I'm just like, you know how the pastor always says, don't be thinking that this is for somebody else. You must receive what you need to. But sometimes there's those sermons where you're like, I know Tabang needs to hear this. I know Tabang, and then you want to send it to Tabang. And then Tabang maybe he doesn't even watch it. Maybe he's not even interested. Now you're asking, you send the link on Sunday. You're like, you need to watch this. You need to watch this. Monday passes, Tuesday passes. The person hasn't said anything. The person is not even interested. The person's not even watching. And it's like, you're hyped by yourself, but you can't share that hype. So what I was seeing is like, okay, I have a lot of male friends, right? Listen, that's also been a problem in my relationships, but that's a story for another day. So I have male friends, and then I have male friends like in church. And then let's say I'm excited about something, or I'm like, oh, I'm reading this Bible verse, and it's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this revelation. I want to share that with someone.
Yeah.
Now I'm sharing that with my male friend instead of sharing it with you, and you are my boyfriend. And it's like, now I'm like, you are the most important person in my life, but I can't share the most important thing with you. That is the biggest frustration. Like forcing someone to go to church when that's your first love. I've done it before. I'm saying I've done it before. I'm not saying that this is like a recipe for everybody.
Yeah.
Some people, I mean, it works for them. Some people, they have that story. And I think when I was also open to, okay, let's try. Because there are people that have actually done that. There are people that literally prayed a guy in church, prayed salvation, like prayed the salvation prayer even with the person, you know. But most of those people...
And the relationship lasted?
Listen, you should go and check out Dr. Jerry Savelle, the late Dr. Jerry Savelle. His story is crazy. Like, that is like a God story. But Dr. Jerry Savelle's wife, God told her, I think when she was 9, that Dr. Jerry Savelle was going to be her husband. And he was like not born again. He was so far away from God. And I mean, she married that man knowing. And she said to him, the night before they got married, she said to him, God told me that I'm going to marry a man that's going to it's going to be, I think, a preacher. It's going to go to Kenya, go to Africa, like have a ministry, be an evangelist. And then he said to, well, you getting married to the wrong man. You better change your mind now. And then she was just like, and it literally happened.
Yeah.
So those are like the special stories. That's not for everybody. I mean, because you're going to be frustrated. Like whatever this guy is before the altar is going to be exactly that. Like, so listen, I'm just saying a godly man, whatever that means. I mean, that's also like...
Yeah, also...
What does that mean? Because there's also men in the church that are not...
Oof, girl.
No, like, let's just be real. Let's be real, guys. We've got
That are
friends...
not what?
They are godly men because they're in church, but the things that they do and the way they've treated some of God's daughters...
Tell me
and
more.
No, like why you acting why you acting like you don't know? No, that's the thing. We can't say because somebody goes to church, they are a godly man.
Okay.
You gotta test the fruits. So, I mean, I've even heard of some cases where people go to church just to get a girl. Or people even, listen, some people have gone as far as even getting married. I've even seen these video clips that freak me out. Somebody would get married and then just to get the girl and be like, and then after like a year or 2 months of marriage, they don't even go to church anymore.
Yeah, that's why even when my friends say to me, I must find a girl for them, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. My friends who don't go to church,
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
I'm not gonna do that.
No, that's, yeah.
Because you want to come here
For
get
the wrong
girl,
reasons.
and then now I don't see the girl coming to church anymore because you took her,
Yeah.
and you guys are very impressionable.
You know what? We need
So he'll
discernment.
whisper sweet nothings in your ear, and then you are gone.
Gone, you're a gone girl, and not with a child of God. So look, I think godly. Look, I can't even say what is a godly man to you because that's also a little bit. Let's just biblical. You know, biblical. Use the Bible as a reference, like as much as you can, and obviously get to know the person.
What
as
is
well.
a godly man for you? To you?
Oh man. I think for me, I can't. Okay, I won't go deep into it, but I think for me, the basics are, born again, a Jesus follower, and I specifically say Jesus because there's also a lot of guys that will be like, yeah, God is there. I pray to God. I don't even know if you are praying, brother man, but I just think. Anyway, it's so weird because we had this conversation earlier, and some married woman was like, "No, don't be looking for a man that's gonna lead you and lead your family." And then I'm like, "But why are you telling me that?" Because you know what happens in the church? Most of the people in church are women. Most of the people that are on fire for God are women, and most of these wives are like the foundation of the spirituality in the house. For me, I believe that my king needs to lead me, like
But why does she say you must not let a man lead you?
spiritually.
Okay.
Spiritually, yeah. But I disagree with
But
that.
also why?
I guess it's probably the person's experience. So that's the thing. You need to also like filter advice.
Yeah.
You have to filter advice. But I think for me, it's really it's somebody's heart, and it's somebody's heart. Like God is kind. So you better be kind as a godly man. Because the thing is, you can be, I can't think of a descriptive word for this, but like, when you're a kind man, if let's say I mess up or I now sign a contract and I think this is going to be the best business deal for us and it's really like it was literally rotten potatoes. Even though I messed up, you're not gonna beat me up.
Compassion.
You're not gonna speak down on me. You're still gonna be kind, even if I messed up, even if.
It's grace, actually.
But all those things that you said, those are the descriptive words of who God is. So God is loving, God is kind. That's what I want a godly man to be. Because those things, in and out of season, and the seasons are going to come, the kindness is going to remain the same. Whether we're poor, whether we have money, whether we're in the breakthrough, whether we're in a drought, can you be kind? Like even if we don't have money to pay anything, are you still kind to me? And I'm just, all we can afford right now, keep up. Like, are you still kind to me? Okay, obviously, it's not my life. This will not happen. But I'm just making an example. Are you kind?
Do we have godly women?
Do you? Yeah, of course we do.
Okay.
You're sitting next to one.
Okay.
Amen. We do, and it's like, it's both parties. Because remember, before a man and a woman get together, you are first a child of God. You're first a child of God. That's the most important thing. So, the thing is with me, like I said, I'm very black and white, and I'm very like structured, and things must be a certain way. So I probably had like my 16 points and I've tried to find this man. My dad once said to me, "You're not going to find this man that is in your head." And I'm like, "Papa, take it. Man. Ooh, same, you're going to have to put subtitles." Sorry there's some things you can just say in your mother tongue, But I was basically saying, I said to my dad, I know who God is. But sometimes, with God, it's like, he'll still shock you and you have this like rule book or whatever. And God might just bring something that's not packaged the way that you thought it would be packaged. But the essentials, like for me, I will never compromise on someone that's not born again because what type of life are we going to live?
I tried that before. I bunked church. I was bunking church. I was neglecting my relationship. It was short-lived. Thank God.
And I mean, you feel it as well. Like if somebody's directing you, like whatever they're doing and what they're bringing, it's not pulling you towards God. Like it's literally making you disobedient. It's making you disobedient. And now you're also making this person an idol. Because this person is literally causing you to be disobedient to God. Anything that causes you, I know, like I always hear Tiffany Montgomery say, anything that is causing you to be disobedient to God, anything that you put higher than God, that's an idol. So an idol can be a person, it can be a relationship, it can be anything. So if somebody becomes that for you, no.
Yeah. So you end up focusing on the person and not on the purpose. I hear you. Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. And fortunately, I'll never have the opportunity to be in that situation ever again.
We thank God.
I'm not going to get into why I say that.
Yeah.
But I always say those moments really make you appreciate God.
Exactly.
You know, it's when you disinvite God out of your life that chaos starts to get in.
Exactly.
And you get to a point of reflection where you're like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
And so when you go back to him, your perception, your perspective has shifted. And I think I've always appreciated such moments
Exactly.
where I'm like, okay, God, I can't do this life thing without you.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes we want to do things our own way.
Yep.
But like I said, sometimes just burn. I think that's what God wants sometimes. And God is, like I said, his love it has different dimensions.
Yeah.
So even with you burning or with him allowing you to burn, to realize that hey, his way is better than your way.
Yeah.
That is him still loving you.
That is him still loving you. Because he allowed that to happen so that now you can come back and say, actually, God, okay, now I saw, like, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm coming back to repent. And you are the way. You know better, God. Like, you know better. You see tomorrow. I don't see tomorrow.
100%.
Yeah.
Porsche, why don't we date each other in church?
What is happening with these men? I posted this very funny reel from Anna Douglas, the lady with the red coat. It's so funny, but I do have to say this. So this guy saying, so the subtitles or whatever say, when the dating apps don't work or something like that. I don't know, but basically this guy's like, I'm looking for a wife. I can't find one, and she's like, what do you mean? We're in the sanctuary. We're in the church. Like, where are you looking? It was very funny, very humorous, but I don't know, because I think sometimes, well, what I've heard from most girls that are like currently single in the church, they'll tell you like, I dated a church guy. I don't want church guys. That I've literally, the number of times I've heard that. And then I'm like, okay, but that was like one guy. And then like, no, two, okay. But that's when I go back to the fruits. Because sometimes your discernment will tell you, God was showing you the red flags. Like I remember, God was showing you the red flags, but you thought it was a circus. So whose fault is that? Is that God's fault? Is it your fault?
Yeah.
Now you're like saying, oh, men in church, like, no, guys, there's people that got married in the church. But I think most people are just not interested because they've been burned in the church, and they're just not interested. And I don't know, you must speak for the brothers, because these brothers, I don't know if they're not singers, and there's more of us in the church. Unfortunately, there's more women in the church than there are men. So there's more single women in the church. It's like we're 5 that are single, and there's only one guy. There's only one usher for all of us. How? So now he gets to pick and choose. And then we're waiting to be chosen, because we also don't want to go out in the streets. We don't somebody in corporate will be like, but you're like, I know you, bruh. I know you. I'm in meetings with you. I've heard how you speak. I've heard you with your below the belt jokes. I don't want you. Like, you might be fine, but you are gonna, yeah. So I don't know. And then they just not, I don't know. These guys are scared. Are they scared?
I don't know.
They're your friends.
I don't. Like I said, I advocate all the time. I advocate for brothers to date. I just don't know why they don't make the first move.
Unless if like these brothers are in church, but they're 1 foot in and 1 foot out. So they are going for the girls outside the church. Or they still want to do things that are ungodly. And they now know that, okay, if I go to Sister Portia is not going to do this. I'm definitely not going to approach Portia. It could be that, or they're not ready to commit or to settle or whatever. So they still want to play. So they know, okay, I'm not going to go to Sister Portia, because if I go to Sister Portia and now I want to sleep with her, Sister Portia's going to tell the pastor, then the pastor's going to tell my leader, and then I'm going to be labeled as that guy. So they still want to play around. So they go outside. They're sleeping around with the girls outside the church, and they're not ready to commit to marriage. I don't know why. But that's why we are not dating each other in the church. Probably, possibly. Or people are just in church, just in J, like they're checking out the church as well. Like they're checking out Jesus. Because the thing about this whole thing of being born again, it's full out. It's either you're in or you're out. So
Yes.
so if you're not in, there's certain lifestyles you can't do. Now it's like, hey, I don't want to date these girls in church because I still want to go to the clubs, or I still want to do this. So they're not ready. They're not ready for the commitment. That's something that I realized a few weeks ago.
Maybe I should start speed dating type of thing.
Listen,
Would you come?
the thing is, those things, now they're awkward for me.
Why?
So, because I always feel like these things must be, what do they call it, generic?
Oh, organic.
Organic, sorry, that's the right word. Like, so I understand, like, because even like outside the world, like my friend sent me one a few months ago of this, like, well, she's part of this thing. Okay, she's not in church. Okay, I don't know if she's in church. Actually, okay, let's go back. I use the word friend now.
That's how she talks to me.
In very long voice notes.
Just throws a lot of things at me.
This is happening in my head. Sorry, y'all, bear with me. Okay, again, I say friend, and friend, I always say people who use the word. Let me say, I was in school with this girl, okay?
Yeah.
So we recently reconnected. So we like, okay, cool, ons gaan like a hike, whatever. And I'm like, girl, invite me to stuff. So the first thing she invites me to is like a singles hike. And I'm like, what is this now?
Mega. Yeah.
I'm like, why do you have to make it obvious now? But it's a whole like platform.
Make what obvious?
Like that we are trying to get married or whatever. Don't ask. But I'm like, why are we forcing these things, And then it's a whole platform where there's different things. There's like, I think there's like a sip and paint, there's a speed dating, there's a pizza night. So it's a whole platform. You pay a membership fee. So it's not like dating apps, but they actually just organizing, whoever's the organizer, they organize things for you guys to be in the same room. But I mean, the funny thing is, like, she said she went to the hike and then all the ladies were with the ladies. So she's like, oh, it was so like I met these other girls. I'm like, okay, but was that? But we gravitate now towards, okay, let me just go to the girls, because now you don't want to just stand there and then some weird guy comes to you and you're just like, I don't know. I just think it's forced. Why is it forced? Like, I don't know. But now I guess I understand that, okay, after COVID, and apparently it's rough in these single streets, in these dating streets. Like, because I guess they say the pool is not as big as it was.
Yeah.
Even though let me say, the pool is big. There's a lot of fish, but it's just like they're
a lot of people are not eligible.
100. Oh. But one of my good friends got married to a guy that she found on those elite. It's a very like elite dating club, like elite. Like,
I think I've heard of that before.
I don't even know what it's called.
Sandra Tabeta spoke about it.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like.
But even she can't find a person on those elite sites.
Maybe guys.
Entire Tando Tabet.
Matthew 6:33, guys, seek ye first the kingdom of God. When you're not looking, I mean, we're not even supposed to be looking.
When you say we, are you talking about a woman?
Yeah, but I actually heard something very interesting. It's just now I can't remember the substance of it. And they say, well, the Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing. So that's how a lot of people say men are supposed to be finding. But apparently it's like, that's even wrong. But I can't, maybe next time I'll talk about it. Let me go do more research and re-listen to that podcast. But they basically say it's not like it's the focus also of the man to find a wife. Okay, I don't know why are we not dating each other in the church? I even saw this other podcast, but I didn't watch it, and the heading was like
But is marriage the cornerstone of life?
Obviously not.
Because let's go back to the beginning, the creation. Mm-hmm. Adam was alone.
Yeah,
if marriage was the cornerstone,
for a season.
I hear you. But if it was the cornerstone, don't you think God would have started with both Adam and Eve?
No. I don't think so.
God started with Adam.
Yeah, for a reason.
Adam was alone, then he gave Adam a job. We also need to talk about that.
100%.
But that's a story for
That's a story for another day, because I know exactly where you're going with this one.
Why did you agree with me like that?
Because I know it. I've literally heard a sermon or whatever where Dr. Miles Monroe explains this, like breaks it down.
Yeah. But yeah. So is it the cornerstone?
Look, I don't want to say it's the cornerstone. Jesus is the cornerstone, but marriage is a definite. It is like the institution, or whatever you want to call it, of God. Marriage is a God thing.
It is.
Like,
I hear you, right? You and I had a mini argument early on, and I said to you, the Apostle Paul, we can go and read in 1 Corinthians. He says that being single is a gift.
Let me tell you why your point falls flat about saying if God wanted to create, like he would have created them both. No, there was a specific purpose. At the end of the day, as we sit here, there was Adam and Eve at the end of the day.
Look, I'm not disputing marriage.
Whether Eve came first or Adam came later or whatever, at the end of the day, that is That is the foundation.
I'm not disputing that.
And
I
also,
think what I'm saying
oh, you're
is,
not just okay.
isn't there purpose in singleness? Just as there is purpose in marriage?
100%, but it's
But
seasonal.
why don't we want to talk about that?
No, but it's seasonal. No, we want to talk about it. I'm just saying it's seasonal. Like, as in
What is seasonal?
the singleness. Even Adam had a stage. I mean, there's someone that also interpreted, like, you know how they said Adam was put to sleep and then God like formed Eve. They're like, Adam was sleeping at that time.
What's on? You guys get into relationships and you are a girlfriend for like 7 years and you don't call that nigga out.
Oh, listen, no, I don't know. Friend, you need deliverance. Girl, I'm going to pray for you. Let me tell you one thing I know about guys. When a guy wants you, don't laugh. Okay, this is serious. When a guy wants you, like, he'll make a plan. I always, if somebody's dating you for 10 years, sis, like you're watching this, please cut that thing off. That's 10 years of your life gone. One thing about a guy, guys don't waste time. Guys are not like us. You know, girls, we can still be nice. Like, oh, let me see if maybe my heart will change. Oh, he's a nice guy.
Really?
Guys don't compromise. They don't waste time. They don't pretend. Guys, if a guy wants you, he'll get married in 2 months. Provided that obviously he can financially and all this other stuff. But that's one thing I've learned about the male species. So if that man is there for 7 years, and it always happens, we all know the story. He's dated you for 7 years, you guys break up. And then he meets a girl 6 months later. They date for 3 months, he gets married. How many times? And then now this goes, David say, oh my gosh, 7 years of my life. Girl, 7 years of famine. You should have broken up with him on year 2 already.
Girl.
But then maybe that's why we're not friends, because I would tell you.
So they need deliverance.
That as well, because maybe it's like a spirit of rejection. Now you're scared of being rejected out there. Now you're sticking to this.
But also we control commitment. We dictate
100%.
commitment.
That's like it's about the guys. Like, guys get to choose. Guys get to choose and they don't play.
Unless if you guys tap into the unconventional.
Which, oh, what, me, I must go and ask. Did you hear how my accent even changed? I don't like it how people say that. No, guys.
Not necessarily ask, but I think what I've learned, right, as a man, sometimes, like you'll find a man like me, right, where I'm just like, I'm decisive.
Yeah.
This is what I want. Sharp.
Yeah.
I don't need external influence. I don't need the girl to tell me, hey, we've been dating for some time now. Marriage, what do you think of this? I don't need that.
Yeah.
You don't need to tell me that, right? But also I think I have God in my life, so I know what's right, I know what's wrong. Mm-hmm. Then you have men who really need a bit of guidance and direction. Have you guys ever thought of it that way?
What I can say is those men, then the type of girls that are not Portia will be created for them. But as for me, if you are that guy that needs the little bit of a nudge, you're definitely not for me. Because at all. Because I will not do that. I always say I'm the hunted. I'm not the hunter. I'm not made to hunt you. It's not gonna be cute. I'm gonna look like an idiot.
No, but you're not hunting.
I'm dancing in front of you. Here I am. You can't even see me. I got better things to do. You're not the guy for me. Like, I'm too shy. You're just not the guy for me. Like, I'm intimidated by you. I'm intimidated. The very guy that is intimidated by me. You're not for me then. It's not gonna work.
It's sad.
It's not sad. That's why we are different. We are different. I mean, there are some girls that will be like, you know what, I needed to like throw the bones and like would tell my best friend. Then the best friend told another guy and then was like, hey, there's this girl. Some people it works for them. I will never do that. Like, listen, I've had crushes that have made me sick. I will never tell. And you will never know. But inside, I'm dying. I'm like, yo. But and it's not pride. Maybe it's pride. It's not pride. I will never let you know. I will die with that crush.
Not even drop hints.
Listen, there was a crush, and
Nothing.
I was like, God, this should have just stayed a crush because it went left, and I'm like, it should have just stayed a
Did they
crush.
know?
Jesus.
Did you tell them?
No, the person doesn't know. The person still doesn't know. The person still doesn't know. But it should have just stayed a
You're
crush.
gonna share with me
Share what?
who the person is.
That's very funny. That is what a joke. No. Because maybe if he knew, I'd be married today. I'm joking. I don't even know where the person is or what. Maybe they married. I don't know. Yeah. It's none of my business. But for me, I can remember, this is my perspective. I will never. Like, I hate these videos that they keep on showing of women going on their knee. What going on? You asking a man to marry you?
No, I don't know how I feel about that.
No, guys. That's not. Now we're changing things. Like, everything.
Just direction, Porsche. Direction. Fella. Sometimes.
What does that even, what is direction? Give me a scenario.
I mean, just like sit down with the person, talk about the future.
Like, okay, but are you a stranger? Let's just,
You're not a stranger, but talk about the future in the context of marriage, and observe everything.
for me, that's painful. Like, if I have to, like, I almost have to ask you to marry me indirectly. So, like, I have to bring the marriage of topic. I mean, the topic of marriage up. I have to like see. That's, I don't know. For me, that's painful. I wouldn't want to do that.
Have you ever dated a guy who's messy?
What's messy?
So somebody who, when you come into my home, dishes are done, everything is where it's supposed to be, and. So the opposite of that.
100%. I have, yes.
Okay, and how did that go?
For Portia,
Yeah,
not for every girl or whatever.
100%.
Yo, that was hard.
Okay.
That was very hard for me. So I always say, for me, like that's what I'm saying, this is a Portia thing. My dad is like super clean, super neat. My dad will like walk into the kitchen of these dishes. He will go and pack them and put them nice and put like something over it. And he's my grandmother's son, and my uncle is the same. Like clean house, proper. That's who they are. So I have never seen anything. I have never seen like, it's a shock. Like my dad doesn't even eat a lot. My dad's not like a typical guy. So I get shocked like with some of my guy friends. And then I was in a girls' school my whole life. Then I was in a girls' hostel.
Yeah.
So it's like, it was a lot. And I don't have a lot of like, I didn't have brothers. Yes, I had a male cousin, but he lived very far. So the only like exposure that I had of male was like super clean, super organized, can do things and can. So it was hard for me. It was hard for me because I had never seen that before and I didn't understand it. And then I had to like, it was hard because you asked, how was it? It was very hard. But I think this is an example of the messiness. It could be about anything else. And obviously when you have not been exposed to that, you have to also understand that, okay, we're not the same. So a person comes, acting a certain way, looking a certain way. But at the end of the day, you two have to gel and you have to accept someone for who they are. Like you can't expect someone, let's say somebody doesn't know that they have to make their bed when they wake up. It's not necessarily their fault, but I believe that in marriage, you can show the person, actually, when you wake up, you're supposed to make up your bed. But the thing is, I mean, we've all seen this video and we've heard people talk about this. Choose your hard. So obviously there's certain things, like I'm saying, there's certain things, they're not going to be ready-made. I know that we like using this example. Oh, like a man throws his socks. Are you going to be able to like live with a man that throws his socks? And some women are like, no, I train him. I used to make a joke like men are like dogs. You just got to train them. So you'll train the person, but the thing is choose your hard because sometimes the things that you have to train, can you train them?
Yeah.
Because some of the things it's like, I really can't though. I like for me, Portia, I can't. Like small things.
Look.
So it was hard. That's the question you asked. How was it? It was hard.
It was very hard, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys get through?
Did we go on?
Did you get through the different hurdles?
Yeah. Some of them we did get through them.
Yeah. And I think the same is applicable when it comes to, like I said, direction, giving the person direction.
It's also about perspective and what your beliefs are. So if you believe that, let's say, a guy is supposed to direct everything, this is not going to work.
Yeah.
Because you almost like, you need to direct me and you need to direct me and my kids one day. Because wherever you're going, we're going. Whether you like it or not. Like, whoever you marry, like that guy, you're going to be like him. If he's like, we're going to be this and we're going to be that, that's what you're going to be. So if this guy needs direction a lot.
It's not a lot. Sometimes the guy is great, right? But maybe he doesn't have reference of marriage or anything like that. And he just needs direction to start thinking about that.
If he needs to start thinking, okay, look, in general, yes, maybe like if you have friends and stuff like that. But if it's like you're in the relationship with this guy and he does not, listen, there's people that don't have reference. They never had dads or whatever. But when they meet the girl, they're like, you're going to be mine forever.
I hear you.
And they get married like tomorrow.
There's a guy, 23 years old, decided to marry his girlfriend, 23. And I thought to myself, wow.
You see.
Right? But you get other guys who are the same age who are not even thinking that.
Exactly. It's that, and it's perspective, it is experience, but also it's like, you need to get that one person that can make you do that. So if I'm not that person, then I'm not yours. If I'm sitting here and for 5 years, I'm still trying to make you feel like I'm your wife, I'm not your wife.
I hear you.
And I'm not going to convince you to marry me.
I hear you, Porsche.
Because you're definitely not going to stay in that marriage or be committed to me because you didn't want me in the first place for 5 years already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want the marriage or the wedding?
Oh, the marriage. Listen, anybody that knows me, I've wanted to be a mother my whole life. I even said it this morning at breakfast. We had breakfast with the ladies and I said, it's not even about like time or age. I've always wanted this. If you've known me, I've always wanted to be a mother.
100%.
Number one, I wanted to be a wife, obviously, because I'm Christian. I believe wife, kids, in that order specifically. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And so I have friends that like, they know what their wedding day needs to look like. They know the dress, they know the theme. Me, I just want, like, if you ever hear me speak, I always say marriage and I want my husband. You'll never hear me say, oh, my wedding day. Listen, I mean, my other friend was rebuking me the other day. It's like, no, we've waited for this. Or you having a big wedding. I'm like, no, man, it can just be small. It can be.
Yeah, intimate.
And it's not even, like, in most cases, like I'm saying, even if like the finances are a problem, like I wouldn't mind a small way. But she was like, but if the finances are real, don't you want your 250 people? And I'm like,
do you really want that though? Also, 250 people.
get celebration.
None of them call you.
They don't even know that I didn't have like rent money 7 months ago.
I don't know how to feel about that.
No, one. For me, I will say it live. Like if you haven't spoken to me for 6 months, I don't think you're gonna go to my wedding. We might have been in high school together. We might have been roommates at varsity. Now for me, marriage is very intimate. It's like, because I'm also like looking in the room. Are you gonna be there in the storms? Can I call you? Can you pray for me? Or are you gonna be someone that's laughing at me when I'm like, I'm going through a storm? So for me, I think marriage is very intimate, man.
Yeah.
It's not like maybe my 40th, we can have a party. We can be 250 and we can have colleagues even. But my marriage is like, so I don't know. So yeah, definitely marriage, not wedding. Obviously, like 2 years ago, I went to a wedding expo. Because my friend, I've got those friends, guys, by faith, like, let's go and drive a Porsche. I have friends like that. You must feel it. You must be exposed. So my friend was like, we're going to a wedding expo. It was the most amazing, eye-opening experience. And people were like, when is the wedding? Me, I had a date. I'm like, oh no, this is when my wedding is. Well, who's the bride? All 3 of us. We were 3. Only 1 was actually engaged. They took my number. I'm still getting SMSs from those people because I gave them dates. Damn. They're like, oh, Portia, we see that.
Spoken faith.
Yeah, and I'm still speaking that date.
And
in
final
Jesus' name.
outcome.
I'm still speaking that date. So yeah, that's the first time I actually thought, oh wow, I must actually start planning my wedding day. And now I actually actively have certain things because I'm a firm believer in supernatural acceleration. I'm a firm believer in preparation. I've told you.
Yeah.
I'm very black and white. I want to be prepared. I don't want anything to catch me. Like if my husband comes, like let's say my husband comes tomorrow and he says we're getting married in 3 days, I'm ready for you. I've got the dress. I know exactly who all my vendors are. I know who my suppliers are. I know which venue we're going to. Because I'm ready. Because it's about the marriage.
Yeah.
So I ain't got time to be engaged for a year because we're trying to find places to get married.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. So initially, I actually wanted to chat to Portia about singleness, but she rebuked me before the start of the episode.
We're talking about it.
I literally had to. No, we're not.
We not?
What I wanted to touch on was so deep.
Okay, so I'm literally coming back.
Yeah. So
For the singleness.
So let's throw do a throw forward to that. So let's just tell the people that in the next episode, right? So that they can be witnesses. That you are committing to that.
Wow.
Then we're going to talk about singleness. Then we're going to talk about sex.
Oh.
Casual sex.
Oh.
Celibacy. Delayed gratification. Mm-hmm. Context. All in the context of relationships. Mm-hmm. So can we commit to that?
Might not be able to commit to all the topics because I do believe and feel comfortable with being led by the Spirit.
Okay.
But as a proposal, we can commit, yes.
Okay, so we have a 60%. 60%. Mm-hmm. Yeah. God wanted me to have you here. So.
Amen.
That's all I'm going to say.
I believe that too.
Yeah, dude. It was fun having you.
I didn't
talk about what I wanted to talk about.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I think I'll have you on the platform regularly.
This was so much fun. I could do this every day.
That's the thing about the mic.
No, listen, no, it's not for everybody. I always say, if I could find a job that pays me to have coffee with people, this is what I like. That's why I have a passion for people.
But the mic is very, what's the word? It's, once you have it, or once you're behind it, you don't want to let go of it. That's what I've realized with many of my guests.
Oh,
They
okay.
come here and they don't want to like leave the mic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I told you though.
I told you. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I do.
Yeah.
It's what I can do.
Closing remarks?
Stay with Jesus. Mark 6. What did I say? Matthew 6:33. Seek ye first the kingdom of God. And I think, like I said, the core of relationships is love. And just make sure you look at your relationships, because whether you believe it or not, you are going with the people that you spend the most time with. You're going where they're going. So yes.
Shall we do a poll with the viewers of the podcast and find out if they want to have you here
Oh,
regularly?
now I'm gonna have to get all my girls to watch the podcast. Go to the poll and then be like, yes, 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 yes.
So what do we say in the poll?
I don't know. How many females do you actually have watching this? Because I have a female event coming up.
And my phone is there.
Okay, but like on a rough estimation, it's like how 50% of your show or your viewers are
Generally, I think we have more females.
females. Okay, that's
So
that's
by
actually
generally,
interesting.
I mean like with the shorts as well, the videos, we have more females consuming
Okay,
the platform. But I know the guys are starting to catch up,
get the guys in.
which is what I want.
Get the guys in, man.
Yeah.
Get the guy. It's about
It's
the
probably like
kinks.
55%, 45%.
Okay, no, that's a good number.
Yeah.
We
But
need to
it
get
might
the
be
guys
that
in.
the guys are more now.
Oh.
The other ones watching more than the girls.
Awesome.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's interesting. No, do that poll. We can call it whatever. Do that poll.
Yeah. Would you want to do that?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Let's do it. Listen, life is too short. I need to be back because I need to tell people about life being too short, about my car accident. Listen, do it.
Ooh, car accident.
Why you take it?
We shot the video last year. She never came back. Poor she.
That's not what happened.
She said, I'm going to come back. Never came back.
You know what? Now you're putting me. You are putting me there to burn in front of the people. Okay, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. So we'll do the car accident, but I'm going to do the poll. People will vote, and then we take it from there. But I suspect that we're going to get a lot of people saying you must come back regularly,
I'm available.
every week,
Every week, I'm available.
every Saturday.
As much as my
Would you
diary
shoot alone?
permits. 100. What do you mean? That's what I do for my YouTube channel.
Like this, would you shoot alone?
Yes. In fact, tell your viewers, Levatoire, Miss Porsche, MISSPORSH. Miss Porsche.
All right.
I would definitely shoot alone. I do shoot alone. On my.
Would you shoot self-literacy alone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so lead us out.
But I don't know how you normally lead them out.
But do your own thing.
Come back next week.
Whatever.
Every
I don't
single
know.
week. Guys.
Camera, you have to.
I hope that you guys actually really enjoyed the podcast, and it's nice to have conversations. So please also give us comments, but we'll see you guys next week. Make sure that you subscribe. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, family. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if you've got a song or like.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another episode of Self Literacy. Until next time, I'm Tabang. Cheers.